It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 217. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. It's game week for the Golden Gopher football team. Well, kind of. It'll be the return of the spring game, and it happens on Saturday at Huntington Bank Stadium at 11 a.m. We'll have a radio broadcast of the spring game on the Gopher Sports Network, including KFAN here in the Twin Cities. We'll preview the game in a rapid-fire four-guest stint coming up on the Go Gopher Podcast. Brand new assistant coaches Mohamed Ibrahim, Isaac Fruechte, Daniel Da Prato will be along, as will regular guest and assistant coach Mariano Sori-Marin. He's a return visitor. We're excited to introduce and reintroduce, in some cases, those new coaches on the Gopher staff and get their impressions of spring ball and preview the spring game. Our Go Gopher Podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Hey, make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. Longtime Golden Gopher sports supporter Cub is a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. In a hurry, don't worry, Cub delivers. Get fresh meat, produce, everyday essentials, and more delivered to your door. Cub is the official grocer of the Golden Gophers and proud to support Gopher athletics for over 20 years. Shop happy. The Go Gopher Podcast is also presented by onX Maps. Find out how to download the onX Fish app for free by listening to the Go Gopher Podcast. We're podcasting episode 217 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. We invite you to subscribe to or follow the Go Gopher Podcast. It's free to do so. You can also go back and listen to the Go Gopher Podcast from previous weeks. Last episode, for example, we had Golden Gopher Athletic Director Mark Coyle on discussing his 5-year tenure on the NCAA Men's Basketball Committee. Lots of good talking points from him, and it's still timely, so go back and have a listen if you missed it last week. This week, we're talking pigskin, a spring fling, so to speak. All-time Gopher leading rusher Mohamed Ibrahim, the running backs coach for the Gophers, is back on campus, and he bats leadoff after this.
Hey Gopher fans, Jalen Crocker-Johnson here from Minnesota men's basketball. In basketball, wins come from preparation, trust, and executing when it matters the most. That's how True North Mergers and Acquisitions approaches selling your businesses. True North M&A is a local alumni-owned company and a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics, helping businesses of all sizes make winning moves. Thinking about selling? True North's M&A helps maximize your life's work and close strong in crunch time. Visit tnma.com for confidential conversation.
This is Jim Suhan for TSR Injury Law, 612-TSR-TIME. TSR Injury Law started off as a small business. They are now a large, very successful business because they help people, because they win cases. If you are injured, call 612-TSR-TIME. They will help you out or point you in the right direction. They will not charge you unless they win your case, and they win a lot of cases. We don't want you to need their help. They don't want you to need their help. But if you do need their help, call 612-TSR-TIME.
Episode 217. Welcome back. We're talking Gopher football with Isaac Fruechte, former Gopher receiver and now Gopher receivers coach. Good to see you. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be back. Excited to be home.
What has this been like for you to be back and coaching your alma mater and coaching your position?
Well, it's pretty special. I couldn't be more fortunate to Coach Fleck and Coach Harbaugh for the opportunity to be here. Just trying to live it day by day right now because it's been strange, it's been weird, but buildings have changed a little bit, but there's a lot that's the same, and I'm very, very fortunate. It's been a lot of fun, and just trying to do the best I can for our guys to make sure that, you know, I get them as prepared as I can and make sure that I'm the best version of myself so that they're the best version of themselves every single day so we can be the best we can be.
How would you describe your coaching style when you work with these guys?
Well, it's what I've always wanted as a player. You know, I've tried to be what I've always wanted as a player, and I think that's really important. Passionate, energetic, loving, but knowledgeable. Not too much knowledge in terms of information overload, but give them enough knowledge to make sure that they can go out and have success and create big plays and just be a great contributor to our offense and to our team, whether that's offense or special teams. So just try and have a lot of juice, have a lot of energy. It's still a kid's game, so we want to have fun and make sure that we're out there competing our butt off and enjoying every minute of it. So it's been a great time, and that's what I'm striving to be every single day.
What is the fine line for you between pushing guys to be better and then also loving them up when they got to be loved up and all for the word of improvement, right?
Yeah, no, I think I'm a relationship-driven person. I'm really fortunate. Pat Poore, Brian Anderson, great guys that I learned a lot from and still to this day stay in touch with me. And same with me, I want to make sure that 20 years down the road that my guys stay in touch with me when I'm, 50-some years old. So, it's really important to me to make sure that I'm there and relationship-driven. I'm invested in them more than just the football side, So it's been a really fun experience because it's a great group. They love being here. I want it to be fun. I want them to enjoy being in the facility. And it's cool when we get done with meetings and they come in and they just kind of are hanging out and talking, BSing, and we're talking about anything. So, I feel like they enjoy the style in which I'm coaching and getting after them, but also holding them to a high standard and having a good time doing it because they enjoy being around. And, on the other side, it's a family. I want them to be comfortable, being at my house with my kids and my family and vice versa, my kids being here and with them. So, and they have been. They've been awesome. So I just try to be relationship-driven and be genuine with it.
This might be a position group that Gopher fans are going to see some new faces. So what can you tell us about this group? What have you seen this spring, and what do you hope to see from them in this spring game coming up?
Yeah, I think they've worked really, really hard. We've got a lot of offense in, and they've done a great job adjusting to new. Obviously, we have 3 transfers that are in, and Jalen and Javon have played a lot of football here at Minnesota. And, I think the biggest thing is how can we help do what they do best. And, I think we have some guys with some speed. We have some guys with some savviness. So it's my job to piece them in the right positions because I think Coach Harbaugh does a great job of formationing things and trade shifts, motion, stuff like that. It's my job to simplify, help them to play fast because when they get the ball in their hands, that's when they take over. That's why they're here. That's why they're recruited. So my job is to just try and amplify that so that they can play fast. And I think Jalen and Javon have been great leaders for us. Obviously, like I said, they played a lot of football and they've helped, the young guys and the new guys learn a lot. Hayden Moore is a kid that's a freshman playing really well. But it's because of their leadership. They've helped grow them mentally in the classroom, on the board, but also on the field. And it's showing in big ways.
What, if anything, does it help that I know there's a bunch of you guys now that have played here on this staff, that you can relate to players and then offer maybe your experience in terms of when it was here and you were here? I know times have changed in the landscape for sure, right? It's a different time, but still I would think that there's some credibility with you. Hey, I played here, I played Big Ten football, here's how it goes.
Yeah, I think so, but the biggest thing that I'm trying to do is trying to get to a point of having a great relationship with them first, because again, going back to being a player, the last thing you want to hear is, well, I've done this and I've done that and I've done that from your position coach. That's great. I could Google that. These kids want to know that you care about them, and I know it's the NIL world and there's a lot of money that gets thrown around now, but it's still football, and we're still here to try and make them the best versions of themselves. And, so it's really important to me that they know that I care about them, number one. And then when they know I care about them, then we can push them to get them to do what we need them to do at an extremely high level. So I think that's my main focus, my main goal right now is to get them to trust me and believe in me and what I'm telling them.
Your dad, of course, legendary Minnesota high school coach. One of these days when we have more time and he's up here watching practice, we should have you and him on our podcast together for an extended time because I'm sure that we'd have some good stories with that. But what was it like being a coach's kid? How much impact? Caledonia, of course, pretty good football power. What was that like, and how much do you draw from that experience now?
I think a lot of, how I deal with people in my everyday life, whether it's recruiting, admin, HR, Obviously, our players, the coaching staff is a big, foundation from what I was exposed to as a kid and in that program. And never judge. Always trying to do the best thing that I can for everybody in the organization. Trying to make sure that I communicate well so that they're aligned with what I'm saying and vice versa. Even if we disagree at times, at least we can leave the room and be on the same page, be aligned, and make sure that we're doing the right thing for each other. So I'm really fortunate because that program has taught me a lot about hard work, toughness, gratitude, and those are words, but I think it's really important that you show it through your actions every single day. And like I said, for my players, our players, hopefully the community, the admin, they see that in our actions every single day. And in order to do that, you got to have a good foundation. I think that's why when they do ask, hopefully I have good, genuine help for them, whether it's, where to live, what to do, you name it, whatever they could be asking. Just want to be genuine and truthful and make sure that they understand it's coming from a place of love and support.
Sometime when we do have more time, we're going to get into your coaching journey because I think it's a cool one. But one of the things that I've enjoyed here now, entering when we start next fall, it'll be my 21st year here with the Gophers, is now seeing guys like you, one, come back and play and then coach, and now you've got your own kids. One, it makes me feel old, but that's gotta it's been a while, but that's kind of cool. Tell us about your family now a little bit. We talked about your dad here a little, but what about the kids and the family?
Yeah, I'm married. I have a wife, Kenzie's been awesome. Very, very blessed. She's been amazing just in terms of this journey from Division III schools, Division I schools, Division II schools all over the Midwest. Been awesome for me and for us. I have a 5-year-old son named Ike, a 3-year-old son named Zeke, and a 1-year-old daughter named Jovi. So we're busy. Sunday was really nice. It was 77 and sunny, and shirts are off, sprinklers rolling, the grill's on. We're fun. They have a lot of juice. They have a lot of energy. They love football. They know the Minnesota Rouser. My family's a big blessing. It's been awesome to have them here.
That's awesome. Very good. We'll catch up more. Great to see you back on campus, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good to see you.
All right, Isaac Fruechte with us here today.
Know what happy is? Veggies. Crunchy, crispy, colorful, seasonal, aromatic, juicy veggies. Produce at its freshest. Cub produce. Best produce, period. Guaranteed to make you happy or will replace it. No questions asked. Because good produce makes veggie lovers happy. Just remember, fresh, happy. Stale, limp, and wilted, not happy. You want to make a veggie lover happy? Shop Cub for produce. And shop happy.
Well, we have the Golden Gopher all-time leading rusher, Mohamed Ibrahim. For years on my broadcast, I would open it by saying, with the all-time leading rusher in Gopher history, Darryl Thompson, I'm Mike Grimm. And it wasn't that long ago we had to switch that. He's now number 2. I know he's number 1 on all our hearts, but man, what a career. And how often do you reflect on what you were able to accomplish here?
Darius won't let me down. He always want to watch my film, and I always tell him no. So every so often we watch film, and he was like, "I want to see what you do. I want to see what you do." And I always tell him no. So it's certain games that he want to see. It's certain games that I watch with him one-on-one. But that's the only time I really think about it. I put that in the past, and I kind of just want to move on to the future.
Well, I watched some of those films and some of that game, and obviously called all of your carries in your career. And there's a certain skill. Guys have come and gone, and there's been good running backs here, but no one really has been able to kind of master that zone run, the wide stretch, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right, the way you did. 3rd and 7 is a passing down for every program ever at any level. Not here, because 3rd and 7 can be a first down if we give it to you.
For sure. That just come with film knowledge, understanding what defenses want to do on 3rd and 7, stuff like that, and kind of just using it against them, right? Use it to our advantage, understanding the situation. Coach Fleck always say, play the situation, right? So just understanding the situation, always beating it in my head of why are we calling this play right now? Why are they calling my number? What tails can I get from the defense while I line up in my stance? Stuff like that I can give my guys. So always understanding that every carry is important. One, because you got the ball in your hand, and two, because every situation is different. So that's kind of just something that I keep putting into my guys' head now of anytime our numbers are called, we're guaranteeing 4 yards, right? Anything after that is why that's why we're on scholarship, right? So that's just something that I always echo in my room. Is something that I always want the young guys to understand.
There has to, though, be something, like you can study all you want, you can do all you want, but there has to be something built in instinctively. Because, like I said, a lot of running backs have come and gone and been very good, but no one quite did it like you. So instinctively, what do you think it was about you that allowed you to do? I know that there's film study and there's lots of different things, but there had to be, I don't know what it is, but something.
It's trained instincts, right? So, like, you watch film all the time, you kind of get a tell on what guys want to do, what the defensive scheme is. You kind of just break down the run fit, stuff like that. And, after you do that, you can kind of just play faster than the defense. You know their jobs more than they know it, right? So that's really what it comes down to, is really film studies, trained eyes, understanding what the defense is doing in front of you.
You have been such a big part of the University of Minnesota. What's it like being back now in a coaching capacity? I know you got your start at Kent State, and now the opportunity arose. What's it been like?
Oh, it's been awesome. The love that I get in the city to this day is amazing. These guys won't let me down. And then just coming back and coaching these guys, it's truly a brotherhood here, right? I don't see myself as nobody's father. I treat them like they're my little brothers, right? So we're not that far in age, but they respect me. I respect them, and we come in here and get to work every single day. So it's been awesome. The guys embrace me, and they accept me for who I am. And even though I'm a young guy, I bring a lot to the table, and these guys have been learning. And then the coaching staff embraced me. They've been helping me out with this whole journey. Coach Harbaugh, EK, Coach Callahan, Frick, all of those guys, they've been helping me out every single day. I can ask them any question anytime I need help or anything like that. So I love being back here. This is truly my family. I've been living in the cities for 6 years, and I left for a few years. Now I'm back, so I'm excited. I'm thankful for everybody for giving me this opportunity.
Well, we mentioned Daryl Thompson. We mentioned Darius Taylor, the two DTs that are in the record book. Tell us about DT number 2, Darius Taylor, and what you're seeing this spring. I don't know whether we'll see him in the spring game much. I know that you don't want to put too much at risk, but what are you seeing from him? This is probably your first crack to really dive into what his skill set's like, and tell me about it.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I was here 2 years ago, and just seeing how he carried himself then to now, like I think that he took the next right step in his career and in his life, right? We always talk about time. That's one thing that we cannot control. So just seeing him understand that, his time is running out, right? So, like, he has to take advantage of every single time he's out here, making sure that every snap counts, making sure that he's actually leaving a legacy, right? So we talk about legacy and time in our room, and just seeing him take those next steps, right? So I'm on the road recruiting, right? He's in here grinding with these guys. He's making sure that he's getting my phone calls in, so now he can echo my message to these young guys, stuff like that. So he's taking the next right step in his life, but also his career. And it's just the little things, right? We all know Darius is an explosive playmaker, right? He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, but those short yardage runs is where he's taking the biggest growth this spring. Understanding that not every play is going to be a 50-yard run, right? So we can sit there and watch NFL tape, and you'll see that majority of the runs are 4-yard, hard running, hard gaining yards. It's not going to be an explosive every single time. Yes, we love that, but at the same time, those 4 carries add up, right? So 4 plus 4 plus 4 in my room equals first down, right? It don't equal 12, equals first down, right? So every time that I call Darius' number, I'm asking myself, is he going to give me 4 yards? And he's asking himself the same question, right? So 4 yards is a great carry, right? And it's not something that's going to make everybody, ooh, wow, but for our program, that's the contract that we're signing every time we call your name, right? So Darius has taken a big step in that area, and from there, it echoes that every little detail matters, right? The way that I break down plays is I go through phases, and I basically walk them through a play with every single detail, and every single play has those details. So he's taken he echoed my messages. Anytime we watch film, he's echoing the phases, he's echoing everything, and it's showing in the young guys, right? So you don't see that with Darius on the field, But you see that in the young guys because Darius might ask a question that the young guys are scared to ask, but they hear from Darius, and now they can go out there and execute. So Darius has been the leader in my room. I love what he's doing right now, but he has far ways to go. He knows it, and he's still pushing himself to get there.
Couple quick ones here for Mohamed Ibrahim. You're not that far removed, as we mentioned, from playing, but the game has changed a little bit. Like the days of 35 handoffs, 41 handoffs like you had almost every Saturday, those are probably gone now. So that means there's got to be some depth, pair and a spare, whatever you want to call it. So I know a few guys are working through some injuries, but how does the rest of your room look? How you liking it?
Yeah, so I like to call them fresh clay, right? I have 6 guys. When my 2 incoming freshmen get here too, I have 6 guys who falls in the true freshman or redshirt freshman category, and all that means to me is that they know ball, but they don't really know ball, right? So now I get to influence them and I get to teach them exactly how I think, right? And from there, they kind of just build the mindset that I have when I was on the field, right? I just install it in their head every single day, and it's showing on the field when we come out here, right? So you look at a TJ, you look at a Zeke, you look at a Jerome, you look at a Grant, you look at an X. Like, these guys are guys who don't know a lot of ball before I got here, and they only know what I teach them, right? So we over-install every single thing that we do, and I make sure that they echo every single thing that I say, and all the little coaching points, and it's showing out here every day that we come out here.
Last one, has PJ Fleck changed at all since you were playing?
Oh, no.
Now that you're an assistant?
He's consistent, man. That's one consistent man. Like, everything that he do is consistent, right? Yeah. So, like, the energy, like, everything's been the same, and I love it because that's who he is, right? That's the last image that I had before he left, and it's the same person when I got here, right? We still got the same insider jokes. Like, everything's still the same, right? Yeah. So he just pushing me a little bit harder as a coach. And just making sure that I go to where I want to go to, right? Like where I am now to where I want to be. So I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for giving me this opportunity to be here.
You're the best, man. Always great. You're here where you belong in University of Minnesota.
I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be home.
Very good. There he is, Mohamed Ibrahim.
Hey Gopher fans, Bobby Durkin here from Minnesota men's basketball. In our program, championship culture is built on toughness, trust, and showing up every day to do the work. That's why I'm proud to support the True North family of companies. True North invests in elite teams, like the championship team at True North Mergers and Acquisitions, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and their family of independently owned companies, visit thetruenorthfamily.com. That's how champions are built.
Episode 217 rolls on. We have Daniel Da Prato, DDP, they call him around here, the new special teams coach for the Gophers. And as we are getting closer and closer to the spring game, first of all, welcome to Minnesota, and appreciate you joining us here.
Yeah, Mike, appreciate you. Thanks for the welcome. Glad to be here. Just proud to represent the Gophers every single day, and thankful for Coach Fleck and the opportunity to be here.
Well, if there's one thing it seems to me over the years when I look at special teams coaches is they are always well-traveled. So you have come from just an unbelievable background, and we saw you last year in the bowl game, New Mexico. So take me through your coaching journey. I'm always fascinated by that journey, that path, and here you are in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been very fortunate to be around great people. My father coached for 45-plus years. And when I got into this, my dad told me, he said, hey, here's the deal. He goes, players win, coaches lose. And you got into this to help young people, so pour into them every single day. And they want to see how much you care before they care how much you know. And I've been fortunate to be around great people in great situations. As far as the traveling, early in my career, sometimes it's not by choice. Right. And, the head coach gets removed and you don't have a choice. As of late, I've been very fortunate to be able to make choices. And that's what I was fortunate enough to be able to do here, is make a choice to be able to come up here and join Coach Fleck in the University of Minnesota, and just very excited about the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, and as we get to know each other better over the course of the rest of this spring into the summer and stuff, we'll get more into detail. But my spies around the program who have been around say that you and PJ Fleck are a pretty good mix here. You have the similar energy, the similar goals, the similar styles. And would you say that my spies are correct in that?
I would say that your spies are accurate. I'm going to make sure I can seek out who they are. Yeah. But no, he's he's an incredibly high-functioning individual, as you guys have known for many, many years. And seeing the culture of the program, seeing how they play as a team, scouting them for a month straight, right? It was a unique transition. I've never been a part of anything like that, to where I'm scouting somebody for a month, playing a bowl game, and then a week or 5 days down the road, you end up getting a phone call. There's a lot of knowledge of how hard and how well the kids play and how disciplined they are, and ended up being a situation that I couldn't turn down, and I'm just fortunate to be here.
I recall too, as the Gophers were getting ready to face the Lobos in the spring, or in the bowl game, not the spring game, the bowl game. Throughout much of that, PJ would talk with media, I don't know, a few times, and one of the first things he always said was, "We're really worried about them on special teams. They run fake kicks, they run fake punts. They got a good kicker, good punter, good return game. You got a touchdown on a return that got the Lobos right back in the game." So I think you impressed the head coach, which probably led to us standing here today, right?
Yeah, I would say that was part of it, but no, Coach does a great job of evaluating his entire, the country of coaches and having guys ready, and that was just something that, as we began to speak about this situation, just worked out perfectly for us.
I got to ask you about the fake punt, where Anthony Smith stayed home and made a great play. So as a special teams coach, and you work with, I'm sure, the head coach and the play callers, how do all of those things go into play when you decide, okay, this is the time to work it, and then in your case, unfortunately, Anthony Smith, an All-American, is standing there waiting for it, right?
Yeah, no, and in that situation, that's easy for me, because I don't have to make those calls. That's what the head coach gets paid to do, and the head coach said run it, and we ran it, and the goal was to have Anthony take one step inside, right. And kudos to him and his discipline and his training of he did not bite one bit, but they were the Gophers. You got to help me out here. Right, the Gophers in that game were playing so well on defense that we felt we were going to give it a go no matter what and see. And if it worked, great. If it didn't, it didn't. But we needed to try and create something. But Anthony obviously is an incredible player, incredible young man. But he did not bite one bit, not a step, not an inch. He didn't give us anything, but he made a heck of a play on that.
We mentioned you did get the kick return, which again made the game right back into a contest. It's been a minute since the Gophers have had a return for a touchdown. So how much do you look at that and say this is the year to get off the schneid?
Yeah, not a matter of if, a matter of when, and we're excited about it. And the kids are doing a great job believing in the things that we're doing, and rightfully so. I'm believing in them. Man, we've got incredible young men at so many different positions that are just going to be great for what we're doing, and very excited about it. But I'm very well aware of that piece and very excited about that during the season.
Well, as we get ready for spring football, or the spring game, we've been through spring football here. What does the return game look like? And maybe you want to keep a few details close to the vest. I'm not sure how much will be showcased in spring and how protective you want to be of it. But there's going to be a new returner, and so what does that look like?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's my job to get the other 10 guys right. I've found over time that the returner kind of has the easy job. He has to be elite in his decision making, whether we're talking punt returner or kick returner. They got to be elite in their decision making. They got to be elite with the ball skills. But a lot of times you'll see the picture and they kind of got to run straight and fast. It's the other 10 that we've got to get in the right place, right time, doing the exact techniques and fundamentals that we want them to do and execute. And it's our job to put them in the right place, right time, all the time. And then when the opportunity presents itself, that's when you get the big plays. It's never a time of trying to make a play. We don't try in this program, right? We're going to be in the right place, right time, all the time. And when the opponent, because we don't control the punter or the kicker of the opposing team. When they put the ball where we want it to be and our kids are in the right place at the right time, that's when good things happen.
Yeah. And then on the other side, kicking. Kick coverage, obviously, which same thing, I'm sure you got to cover and be fundamental. But I want to talk kicking, scoring, field goals, extra points. There'll be a new kicker. How's that competition going here this spring?
It's been great. We have two just elite humans, just elite people Daniel Jackson is a young man that's a mechanical engineer. I mean, he's built a roller coaster. I mean, he is an incredible young man that just functions at a very high level. Been very impressed with him since the day I got here. He met me in my office, I think the first night I was here at like 9:30 at night. He was driving through town and they were on vacation, so that was incredible. And then Beckham Sunderland, I have a past with. Was fortunate to be able to coach him at Texas State. He went to another school that we'll end up playing this year, and he decided to get in the portal, and I was waiting here with open arms. And he's a former professional soccer player. He's been a pro. He knows what it takes to be a pro, and he trains like one every day. So both of those young men are doing an elite job. Excited to see how those guys continue to progress.
And what a weapon it is when you have a consistent, and we saw it with Dragan Kesic, of course, here, Big Ten Kicker of the Year, that when you know you're hitting that 40 to 35 yard mark, that you can get points and you feel good about it, it changes the whole complexion of the play call and everything else, right?
Yeah, and that's something for Coach Fleck to see and gain the confidence in our guys every single day. And that's something that we're working on to prove to him every single day that you can count on us. And that helps him and Coach Harbaugh and what they're doing. And that piece of it is on them. And when Coach calls our name and our number, it's time to go perform.
Yeah, very good. Well, hey, it's fun getting to know you. Let's have some fun in the spring game, and we'll get to see us obviously in the summer and in the fall as well.
Mike, appreciate you and all that you do, and excited for the remainder of this spring and then on into the summer, and appreciate you guys. Go Gophers.
Have you spent any summers in Minnesota? Because it's pretty nice here in the summer.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling me. Looking forward to that. I got a wife and 2 little girls, and looking forward to it. We will take a little vacation, but we're cutting it a little short this year because we want to enjoy the good summers up here. So I've heard a lot about it, and I'm waiting for it to start.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right. There he is, special teams coach Daniel Da Prato.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken and shop happy.
Episode 217, Mariano Sori-Marin, who with this appearance, I think, retakes the lead for most appearances on the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm. You've been a regular. We appreciate it. As always, good to see you.
Yes, thanks for having me again. Let's hopefully talk some food and some football, and that's usually what I like to do on this thing. So
yeah, that's one of the all-time great topics. The other one was when we talked about your Cuban ties and how your family ended up here. I mean, that's worthy of a rediscussion at some point. We won't do that today as we're talking after one of these spring practices. But man, you've got some stories. There's no doubt.
No doubt, and it's actually pretty cool because my parents were up this past weekend, so. To be able to continue to just tie in family and football and everybody's unique story, that's what makes football really special, right? Everybody has a unique story, and everybody comes together for one common goal, and that's why this is the greatest game in the world.
We won't go into deep detail, but you have a new spot that you're liking right now to go eat right now, Mariano?
Yeah, so there's been a few new openings. There's actually a place, it's called Saturday Dumpling Co., and part of the reason I love it is because it's fast, it's easy, it's on the way home, but I can get a protein rice bowl and feel a little bit healthy and at the same time be quick and efficient after a long spring practice day. So
nothing to it, right? Nothing to it. Exactly. Excellent. Well, let's talk some football. Go for football. As you enter this year, your group is one that I think has to be a position of strength. I know you like your guys. Tell us about the linebacking crew right now this spring.
Yeah, no, extremely excited about this group and a true joy to be able to coach these guys. The one thing that stands out about our room is how they bring it each and every day, right? It starts with Maverick Baranowski, our veteran, our senior linebacker, and his contagious energy and leadership is spread throughout the room and ultimately spread throughout the defense. So one of the things that we continue to hype on and emphasize within our room is setting the temperature, right? We're the quarterbacks of the defense, right? So good play, bad play, next play, we're ultimately the guys that are leading from the front and ultimately
getting the calls and the command out to the rest of the defense.
Maverick mentioned in his media briefing a week or two ago, I forget exactly when it was, about the offseason and how you've helped him. We've always talked about your love of film study, but it's not just now, he says, him learning linebacker. He, through film study that you've taught him, is learning what do the safeties do on this play? What do the ends do? What do the corners or whatever? Kind of knowing the entire defense. I know you took pride in that. So is Maverick getting to where you'd like him to be in that regard?
Yes, he is becoming the ultimate master and student of the game. And I think, like, when you look at a player's progression, right, the first progression is like, all right, how do I get lined up? What is my job? What is my execution? And then from there, once you realize, all right, what am I actually doing on this specific call? It's like, all right, what is the offense doing, right? How do I counter that? And then once you understand big picture football, what the entire defense is doing, what the offense is doing, what the coordinators are attempting to get out of the situation, that's the true form of mastery, where you can play extremely fast at an extremely high level, right? But it's a process to get to that point. Again, it doesn't happen on the first day you get in on campus. And as a coach, it's my responsibility, it's our responsibility as coaches to funnel and slowly piece that into their progression, into their growth, right? So Maverick's at the point where there's times where we're doing the young guys scrimmages, or the next groups are in, and Maverick's in my ear on the sideline calling things out even before I am, right? So that makes me extremely proud to just see his situational understanding, see his complete understanding of the game of football, and then when you watch him play, you're not surprised, right? His first step is in the right direction before anybody else's. He's making those plays, and you're like, man, it's almost like he knew it was coming, right? Because it's his study and it's his understanding that's allowing him to do that.
Do you see a little of you in his progress in his career?
He's way beyond me, right? He's way beyond me, which is a good thing, right? I think you look at a lot of the guys in my room, like their understanding of the game and what they're able to do on the field is really special. And like, again, I have the unique perspective where I played in the scheme, I played in the defense, but at the same time, I'm able to pass that information on and my experience on to them, so they don't have to make the same mistakes I did, and they can ultimately just go and learn the easy way, fly around, execute, and have ultimately a really good process to it.
In today's game and landscape, there's not a lot of linebackers or a lot of programs that are just counting on young guys to kind of filter up through it. You know, go get a transfer starter, go get this guy. It looks to me like this room is kind of homegrown a little bit. So tell us about some of these young guys who maybe spent a redshirt year or a learning year last year, some on special teams. Do you like the young guys in terms of how they progress, and do you project that there's going to be some Big Ten players down the road in that group?
Absolutely, right? You look at like the three in particular, and they all came in together, but Emmanuel Carmel, Nate Cleveland, Ethan Stendel, those three young guys are embody everything that we talk about in terms of row the boat, back her up, havoc defense, and they absolutely crush it. And you look at them and you watch them play, and I forget, and I have to remind myself at times that these guys are still only going into their second year. Some of these guys, this is their first spring ball, right? This is their first spring ball. And I have to remind myself, because what they're able to do, what they're able to process, what they know as young players is that of a 4-year, a 5-year veteran, right? So I have to pull back sometimes, like, okay, they're going to continue to learn and make those mistakes that young guys make, but at the same time, they are so far along, and I am so excited for the future. And you hit on it, like the experience that they were able to create on special teams and certain packages defensively just allows them to understand what the game moves like, how it feels, the physicality of all of it. So when they get into a setting like this, where this is their first spring ball, they just absolutely skyrocket. So I'm very excited about them. And again, it starts from the top down. Like, the leadership of Maverick into those guys has allowed them to have that type of process.
Yeah, very good. It's been fun watching. We'll look forward to the spring game, and then a hard work of summer and into next fall.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm excited for this group and this entire defense and team in general.
Very good. He's Mariano Sori-Marin.
My thanks to one of our favorites, Mariano Sori-Marin, who's the only person to be on this podcast as both a player and as a coach. He's one of the best. Also, thanks to Isaac Fruechte. How great is it to have him back on campus and his family back in town? And many thanks and welcome to special teams coach Daniel Da Prato, and of course, our immense thanks to Mohamed Ibrahim. I hope you enjoyed getting to know all of those coaches as much as I did. The spring game again is Saturday at 11 a.m. at Huntington Bank Stadium. It's free to get in for all Gopher fans, and the team's asking you to bring a package of diapers for the annual diaper drive, which benefits the Diaper Bank of Minnesota. Such a great cause, and they always serve and give. Episode 217 presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. Cub is a proud supporter of Gopher Athletics for over 20 years and a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. Cub, bigger savings on the items you love. Shop happy. OnX Fish also sponsors our show, Happy Fishing from OnX Maps. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please right now click that subscribe or follow button to the Go Gopher Podcast. It's free to subscribe, free to follow, and free to listen at any time. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. And if you enjoyed our podcast this week, please let us know with some positive feedback on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.
Know what the happiest bird is? Chicken. Cub fried chicken. Wait, let me rephrase that. Know what bird makes people happiest? Cub fried chicken. Crispy, crunchy, juicy, perfectly seasoned. It's the kind of chicken that disappears faster than you can say, 8-piece, please. Or, let's be real, maybe 12-piece. Because when it comes to fried chicken, more just means more happy. So if you're shopping chicken, shop Cub fried chicken and shop happy.